My husband had lost it arrested me for many years. My son's classmate taught me how to flirt with my husband. However, when he was doing so, he placed a hand on my butt and said, "Open up, Mrs. Jackson." Chapter 1. In the evening, I was in the shower. All I could think of was the muscular body of a man. I touched myself and felt the desires building up inside of me. The more I thought about it, the more empty I felt inside. The most embarrassing thing was that the man I was thinking about was my son's classmate Jason Rain. He worked part-time at our garage. I started having those thoughts earlier in the day when I saw Jason taking off his top and working half naked. I could see his strong and powerful muscles clearly. The sight made me blush and ignited my desires. I found an excuse to tell him off and told him to put his clothes back on. What I didn't expect was that he told me that he was a young man and his desires would cause him to feel hot very easily. Even my husband sided with him and said that he was the same when he was Jason's age. When my husband was young. Such a thought made me sigh. My husband had been very good in bed before. He would want me a couple times in bed every week. With that thought in mind, I immediately went online, bought a lingerie, and asked for it to be delivered on the same day. I changed into the lingerie and hugged my husband from behind. I could feel my husband's body stiffen immediately. "Well, honey, we haven't made out for quite a while. My desires are killing me." I could hear my husband swell up. "Honey, please satisfy me tonight." It was probably because I was in a lingerie that I became bolder. When I felt that my husband was hitting hard, I immediately sat on top of him. What I didn't expect was that he pushed me away. "We've been married for so long, there's no need for this. I've still got to go to work tomorrow. Let's just go to sleep." After that, he turned around and went to sleep. A second later, he was already snoring. I lay beside my husband, feeling disappointed. I helplessly went into the bathroom. In the bathroom, I couldn't help but start touching myself. But no matter what I did, I still couldn't feel fully satisfied. It didn't help with the emptiness I felt within. It seemed that I was in desperate need of a man to satisfy me. It was a pity that my husband was no longer able to satisfy me. I went to the garage with a dark face the following day due to the fact that I wasn't satisfied the previous night. During work, my gaze couldn't help but follow Jason around. Looking at his well-built figure, I imagined myself being in his arms. Such a thought alone made my body heat up and my legs seemed to have given away. I was lost in thought when Jason met my gaze. I lowered my head, feeling a bit guilty, and pretended to look somewhere else. Jason, on the other hand, walked towards me and asked with concern, "Mrs. Jackson didn't have a quarrel with Mr. Jackson." He was still half naked just like the previous day and he was wiping the sweat off himself as he asked the question. Chapter 2. I didn't know why, but whenever Jason came close to me, my heart would start to race. Especially when I recalled the fact that I imagined sleeping with him in the shower the previous night. I immediately felt embarrassed. I looked at him and subconsciously lowered my gaze a little. The sight made me gasp. My husband had quite an above-average size, but at that moment, I felt that Jason's was even bigger. Then his girlfriend would definitely be. As soon as that thought came to mind, my body couldn't help but eat up again. But when I suddenly remembered that I was an elder and it was too perverted to have such a thought, I looked somewhere else guiltily and said, "It was nothing." Jason seemed to want to get to the bottom of things. "Mrs. Jackson, how can you say that it was nothing? I've been observing you the whole morning. I can feel that you're in a terrible mood." His words made my heart race again. But he was my son's classmate after all. The two of them were quite good friends, so it was normal for him to be concerned about me. Therefore, I said, "It was really nothing." Jason looked like he wasn't going to give up until he got an answer. When he was walking towards me and I was backing away, I nearly fell. In a fit of an emergency, I reached out and grabbed Jason's